Coach Lauren, back here again for another Local Leaders segment. This time I interviewed Harmon and Soubern scholar Teanna Bautista Leung about her scholarly success throughout high school and her best tips for applying to college. Teanna will be an incoming freshman at UC San Diego in the fall. So let's check out this interview. Awesome. Okay, so our first question for you on this Local Leaders segment on scholarly success in college is, as someone who has been as involved with Junior Giants as you have in the past and as a Burns Scholar, what has being a part of this organization taught you about the importance of education?
Yeah, being a part of the Junior Giants has taught me a lot about the importance of education. It's taught me that there's kind of different forms of education, in my opinion. It's more than just going to school to learn from a book. It's more than what you learn, it's how you learn, it's who you learn from. Like, you can learn from your friends, your parents, your coaches, and even your teammates on the Junior Giants. And especially being in the Junior Giants and with the 4 bases of character development, it's especially taught me how to make the most of my education with confidence and being confident enough to ask and answer questions in class, and leadership and teamwork, especially when you're doing group projects in class, and then integrity, like being able to stop yourself from cheating and actually study for yourself and study your best to succeed in class.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I really appreciate how you brought up our 4 bases of character and, talked a little bit about what role each of them have played in your educational journey. But just to delve into that a bit more, which of the 4 bases of character development do you think was most important for you throughout high school?
Yeah, I think all of them are special in their own way, but personally, confidence is the one that has been the most important for me. When I first started off in high school, I was really afraid to ask questions because I thought the teacher would think I was dumb for asking these stupid questions. But turns out when I actually mustered up the confidence to ask those questions and be vulnerable, it was not like that at all. The teachers are there to help you, and being able to have confidence and ask those questions actually helped me understand the material way better and succeed in class.
Yes, that's so true. And I feel like especially our confidence practice is actually what we're doing right now in Junior Giants, and we're trying to
Oh,
talk to
nice.
players about how they can be more confident. And you really drove a key point home. I think that it's like, even if you're insecure or like you're anxious, and I totally get like that too, even in college. I'm
Yeah.
afraid to send an email to a professor, or like go up to them after. But it really is just coming down to like having the courage and having the confidence to go up and ask for help, because at the end of the day, like, you can only be benefited from that. So really,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. So along those lines of school, in high school, what has motivated you most to do well in school? And you've obviously done very well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
In the fall. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Well, for my motivation, I'm actually a person that really tries to strive to do well in every aspect of what I do. So grades were a very motivating factor for me. I remember being in middle school and I was thinking to myself, oh yeah, I'm going to do so well in high school. I'm going to be valedictorian, get all A's. It didn't end up happening. I got 1B, which didn't really allow me to be a valedictorian, but it's okay. We counted our losses and I moved forward. But it's still something that motivated me, especially being in AP classes, actually getting to learn about what I wanted to learn about, being AP Bio and AP Chemistry with the science kind of aspect has really allowed me to learn more about the subjects I'm interested in, and that motivated me to stay focused and do well, to look forward to the kind of subjects or little lessons within those classes that happen later on in the year.
That's so awesome. And I think too, like what you're talking about, you had like a really big goal that you were working towards, and that
Yeah.
seemed to really motivate you. And then also, studying what you're passionate about. I hope that all of our players are really taking home those messages of working towards goals and then also doing things that they really enjoy, because that like kind of helps you get past the day-to-day nitty-gritty of it.
Yeah,
Passionate about it. Yeah,
definitely.
super cool. And so same thing along those lines of being passionate and finding things that we really love. What good habits do you recommend that our players start doing now to prepare them for success in high school?
There is a lot of things on that list, but I'll only go into a couple of them. a lot of these are things that I actually wish I started doing earlier on and I wish I had known about. And it's being not to procrastinate. And I still do that and like put things off till the end. But being able to start early and not procrastinate will actually leave you a lot less stress later on. And then also something along being able to kind of socialize and put yourself out of your comfort zone to try new clubs, meet new friends, because high school is a step up from middle school where you get to meet so many more people from like different middle schools and then even people that transferred out of district like me. And just kind of putting yourself out there to try new things is something that I think is good for being in high school. And then the last thing is kind of going to bed at a reasonable time. And I know Netflix is something that's very against that. But being able to start that early would definitely help in high school because you really do need a good night's rest to be able to function throughout the day.
That's so true. And I hope like all of our players and their families are watching this and they're probably super glad that you brought that up, right? You know,
Yeah.
hopefully players go to bed earlier.
Ideally going to bed when it's still PM and not in the AMs. So I'd recommend that.
That's so true. Oh my gosh, I still struggle with that. I need to get sleep.
Too.
We'll do it together. But
yes.
you know, about high school and about like all these great habits that you had, what do you think really helped you best when you were applying to college? And then what was the process of applying to college? Like a lot of our players are still super young, so you know,
Yeah.
you could gear it towards them, but just how would you describe that experience?
Yeah, for me, applying to college, I'm not gonna lie, was really stressful. I mean, in my situation, I was juggling a lot at the time and I had really been off more than I could chew. I was doing 4 AP classes and working 2 jobs, one at Stanford in a biochemistry lab and another at a car wash. So that was a lot on my plate and something I really recommend for our players, especially the ones from junior year to senior year, would be to start on the applications early because they come out with their questions pretty early, I think about a year before or something like that. And if you can just get your ideas onto the paper, that would help you so much more in the long run because you won't have to be sitting at your desk 2 days before they're due trying to type something out and your brain's just not functioning at 3 a.m. It's just I'd recommend starting early for sure.
And that definitely goes back to what you were saying about not procrastinating. Like big tip to all of our players, especially the ones, you know, going into middle school where that's the time where you really cement these habits. I hope that you really build those up. So fingers crossed.
I believe in them. They can do it.
Oh, yes, you guys got it. Speaking of college, I mean, that's so awesome that you worked in a biochem lab at Stanford. That's incredible. You know, are you majoring in biochem at UCSD or, you know, what other subjects are you passionate about? And then also, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you hope to get after you go to college?
Yeah, actually, during my senior year was when I first started working in the lab. And that was when the year before I'd taken biology and I had learned about biochemistry and how it mainly focuses on the processes that happen within our body. And I was just so fascinated by that. I ended up spending time in the lab and it's been about a year now. But through my experience there, I've learned that I'm really interested in a little bit more than just the processes in our body, kind of how our body functions as a whole, which is why I'm majoring in human biology at UC San Diego. Yeah, I'm just really passionate about kind of understanding why people get sick and how those work in our body. Fun fact, a fever is actually how our body tries to fight off kind of diseases or bacteria or viruses or like unknown things that come into our system. So that was really fascinating to me, and just the whole experience in biology and learning about the different things that happen is so interesting to me.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that, you know, that was the body's response to trying to fight something off. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for teaching me that.
No problem.
I feel I'm growing, but you learn something new every day. But,
right? Yeah, that's why I want to become a physician's assistant when I grow up, just to kind of help people also understand what happens when our body's kind of acting up.
Yeah, oh, that's so awesome that you want to be a physician's assistant. That is so cool. And you're so right. Like it'll give you such a, in-depth and really hands-on experience of what it is to help people and what it is to,
Yeah.
investigate why people get sick and make them better. And especially I think in
Mhm.
these times, in the times of
That
coronavirus, there's
yeah,
really no better time to have that motivation and that dream. So that's really
exactly.
cool. But speaking of motivations and dreams and role models, you're definitely a role model in our Junior Giants community here
Thank
in
you.
San Bruno. So big thank you and
Thank
claps to
you.
you for being that for all of our new players and ones that have been in the program for forever. But who are some role models that you look up to or people that you think that our players should look up to?
Yeah, for me personally, I have a ton of role models. It's really the people that I find traits in that I really look up to are the people that I consider as role models. So my parents especially have been really good role models for me. They've shown me what it means to have like hard work and determination and how you can work towards your goals but still have fun at the same time. That really is something that I try to strive for in my life. And also in the kind of Junior Giants community, Brittany Chin is actually one of my role models too. She's amazing. And being in the Junior Giants, she was one of the coaches for me. And I really looked up to her how she was able to be so studious in high school and beyond. And her motivation and her hard work in the Junior Giants too was something that I really looked up to as well.
That's awesome. I really appreciate you in talking about the people that you look up to, the qualities of those people. You look up to them because
Yeah.
they're studious and they're able to care about their community and they push you to do your best. And I hope that our players see those qualities and want to become those qualities and adopt them
Yeah.
in the way that they live their lives. So thank you so much, Teanna, for what was a really interesting and inspirational talk. And I'm so excited for you and wish you the best of luck at UC San Diego in the fall. So
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
well, thank you, San Bruno Junior Giants, for tuning into this local leaders segment. And stay tuned for another segment we have coming out very soon with Harmon and Sue Burns scholar Isaiah Sneed. Thank you. Bye.